I'm here with Silenoz of Dimmu Borgir to talk about their new compilation that comes out December 8th on Nuclear Blast. First of all, thank you very much for taking the time today to chat with me about the record. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me on.
So let me start off by asking you this. You guys are celebrating 30 years of Dimmu Borgir. A lot of bands in your shoes perhaps would release a live album or a greatest hits. You guys decided to go with a compilation that doesn't necessarily celebrate the discography of the band, but it celebrates the roots and it celebrates the inspiration that led to the creation of the band. Was that the band's thought process from the get-go to take a different approach in this celebration?
Yeah, I guess you can put it that way. We had this idea ever since 2015, actually, to kind of collect all the covers we've done over the years and put it out as one release. But then we got held up with some shows and touring, and we started working on the own album, so it kind of got put on the back burner. But now, since we don't have the new album ready yet, we thought, well, this is what we can do right now, just mostly for our own sake, actually, and also for the diehard fans, obviously. But most of our fans have heard these songs at least from before, and they have them on various versions of different albums. So obviously, it's nothing new in that sense, but at least now we have everybody has the opportunity to get everything under one umbrella.
When you decide to take this approach and put all of these tracks under that one umbrella that you're mentioning, was there something that you guys wanted it either for the feel of how the songs would flow into another, and not just like, okay, we have these songs, we're just going to throw them all together? What was the thought process when it came to the actual, nuts and bolts of putting the record as one?
Yeah, I think it's also because we, as you said, celebrate 30 years, and we thought it would be a cool thing to showcase where some of our influences and inspirations come from. And these are bands and artists that we still listen to this day, and that's been with us and keeps inspiring us to do our thing. So obviously we don't necessarily sound anything like these bands, but I think if you listen closely, you can hear some influences in a lot of the songs from our catalog from these type of bands, whether it's being black metal with Venom or it's Bathory. We have been huge fans of Bathory since the beginning, and the same with the more melodic hard rock things like Twisted Sister and Deep Purple.
The guitar sound on these, I know they were all recorded at different times, and they were all created, if you will, at different times. This is just an amalgamation of all of these songs under one single umbrella, like you mentioned. But I felt like the guitar sound across all of them was great, like very dark, very sinister, and it almost became the red line that connected all of these eclectic and different songs together really well to make a more cohesive experience. Did you guys tweak with any of the sound in order to create this more balanced approach?
I'm glad you actually noticed that, but at the same time, we didn't really tweak anything apart from making it a master and update the volume levels. And some of the older cover songs, like the Celtic Frost one, was recorded a lot in a lot less fancy place, if you know what I mean. So we had to kind of adapt that to the today's standards of sounds, but we haven't mixed or anything like that. It's basically just been mastered now.
What's your favorite cover of when you look at these ones, and which one do you feel was a little bit more challenging to get it to where it currently sits?
I think if I have to choose one favorite now, it would probably be Metal Heart, because it was the second cover we did, and that was like a big step up, and to be able to even do that and record that track at age 20, because Accept has been influencing us across the board, basically. But I think the one that that we dimmified the most must have been the GGFH song, because that didn't really have any guitar structures or drum
Mhm.
structures to it. So we had to sit down and figure out how to kind of do our own total take on that. So I'm really happy with that too. But that was probably the most time consuming and challenging in that sense.
I can imagine. I Of all the covers you guys have on this compilation, that was the only one that I hadn't heard before, believe it
All
or
right.
not. And it caught me off guard because I'm like, well, I can see how you guys could be influenced by this, but what have you created with it? Like it's completely out of the box.
Yeah, it is. I think it's quite a lot of people got surprised when we did that. Obviously, I know there's other artists that have done the same song, but I think besides the great title, it has this really dark atmosphere to it, and for us, atmosphere or black metal is always about atmosphere, and there's up to each and every band or an artist how to go about that. So this is our take of on bringing some of the industrial dark things into our uh, backyard, basically.
I don't know if you've heard, but Dee Snider mentioned that in an interview that "Burn in Hell" is a song that when they play, people think that they're doing a Dimmu Borgir cover. They don't even know that it's one of their original songs. How do you feel about a comment like that coming from Dee Snider?
I think to me personally, it's just the best compliment, and it's like everything has come full circle, because Twisted Sister was probably the first band that really caught me, and subconsciously knew that I would be playing metal music when I grew up. And I also remember there was, don't quote me on this, but there was a story about when Twisted Sister in the early 2000s, I think, played Sweden Rock Festival, and he was going to announce Burn in Hell, and he was saying something to the effect of like, we're going to play this new song or this song now, and it's not a Dimmu Borgir song, okay? So I thought that was pretty cool, But yeah, I know when we met JJ French also on the last trip to New York, he came down and hung out, and he also said that it's one of his favorite cover songs. So it's just coming full circle, and it's nothing better than that to get that type of praise from your peers.
You guys have played in the biggest festivals around the world. You guys create an immense legacy, outstanding discography. What is left for you guys to achieve?
I think the hunger to do more music. We still feel we have a lot of things on our plate to deliver, and it's that old drive and stubbornness, and the fact that this is what we know how to do. This is a type of thing that we know how to do, basically. So I mean, we have done quite a lot in our career, more than most other bands get to do, and we're really grateful for that. And but we still feel there's more that we can do and achieve. So that's not in fame or monetary or anything like that, but on a personal, artistic level. That's where we're at.
So 8 years between the last two records, 5 years since the last record. Are we like 2 to 3 years away from a new album?
Hopefully not even that long, because we have quite a lot of material already, and we're demoing the songs now with vocals and stuff, because we want to, like we were on the Anionen album, we want to go into the proper recording studio with finalized demo versions, so everyone in the band can live with the songs for a while and get to know them properly. And obviously, we're going to have a rehearsal stint even before we go to record the actual studio drums. So that's there's a lot of preparation, and we don't want to leave anything out. We work really hard on every little detail, and we change things around even maybe to the last minute before the mix. So it's a long process, but this is how we work now, and it's totally completely different from how we worked in the beginning.
And you guys are going to be, so actually I'm going to be as well at Inferno next year in 2024. You guys are headlining day three. I'm super excited, not just to attend the festival for the first time, but to see you guys in your home soil headlining that day three. Is that going to be a little bit of a anniversary slash celebration for you guys?
Yeah, I think we're gonna pick up the thread that we started in Bergen in August when we had our somewhat of a 30 years anniversary celebration set, and so we're probably going to do something very close to that, and that goes for the rest of the next summer as well with the festivals and the one-off shows we have. So we're really looking forward to that, and it's nothing better to start like a festival season off than in your hometown.
Yeah, that's for sure. Will some of these songs from the compilation be part of the set list?
I think that's the challenge when you've been recording so many albums and you have three decades worth of material, that you don't want to, you kind of too much of an egotistical maniac to put cover songs in
You
your
can't
set
please
when you have
everybody.
so many old songs to play. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I saw you guys back in 2018. You guys played four limited shows in North America. Toronto, thankfully, was one of those shows. I saw you guys at the Danforth Music Hall, a night that was iconic for me because it was my first time seeing you guys live.
Right.
Uh,
Cool.
are you guys planning on eventually coming back to North America? Because those four shows was felt a little bit like an appetizer.
Yeah, and we haven't really done a proper tour in North America since 2010, I think. So it's about time, right? So hopefully we can come back probably when the new album is out, but hopefully to do a proper extensive run, more than four shows at least.
Well, as long as you're playing in Toronto, you could play two shows. As long as one's
Two shows
Toronto.
in
I
Toronto,
mean,
all right.
you were talking before about being egocentric. I'm being a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm a little
that's all
bit
right,
guilty
man.
of that. As long as I get to see you guys.
That's all right.
One last question for you. These 30 years of Dimmu Borgir, I'm sure there's been ups and downs, but if you had to describe the longevity of the band and the career that the band has had over these 30 years, what word would you use to describe it?
That there's probably not one word, but I think um, for us, the drive and the focus of doing something better than the last one. If you don't have that drive to think that you can do better, then what's the point? So I think that's inherent in all of us involved, and yeah, the stubbornness and the total focus and the sacrifice and the discipline that we have always put down, that gives us still the motivation to continue.
Thank you very much for your time today. I'm hoping to see you in person at Inferno next year to congratulate you for the 30-year anniversary of the band, and to obviously have that closing of day three that I'm expecting to be absolutely epic. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in Norway.
Thank you so much for the interview, and we'll see you at Inferno, and we can catch up again for a chat then.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it because I'm sure there'll be a lot more to talk back then, and I wanna get your feel for how the performance goes and all of that stuff. So in the
Cool.
meantime, enjoy the release, enjoy this special moment, and once again, thank you very much for the time you've given me.
Thanks a lot, man.
Take
Appreciate it.
care, man. Bye.
Thank you.